Hello loves, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be breaking down the new moon in Aquarius that is happening January 21st next week. So we got quite a bit to talk about, and we're going to jump in. We have a whole entire Aquarius stellium. I already pulled the cards. We're going to be talking about spell work and my recommendations, what you should be doing, and the messages that came through the oracle cards, and just lots of things. Okay, before I get started, do not forget to sign up for the spiritual herbalism workshop. The part 2 is going to be focusing on working with the element of water. So we're going to be looking at water infusions that you can do with herbs, and we're going to be looking at both the spiritual way and also medicinal ways. So we're going to be looking at different ways in which herbs are used in connection to water, including floor washes, fruit washes, yoni steaming, teas. Like we're going to be covering like a ton of stuff, not only the uses but also the preparation. So we're going to be doing herbal preparations in the workshop, because the whole point of it is for you to learn something, for you to apply something, and for you to be able to use it in your practice as well. So definitely make sure you get your tickets, because that's going to be a very knowledge intensive like focus on a lot of things, and we're going to be covering so many different things. So I want to make sure that, you know, those who want to come through can come through. And as always, it's going to be available for Patreon on the high priest level. You guys automatically have free tickets. You guys already know that's part of your perks. So yeah, now with that said, let us jump in. Also, before I start, next week I'm going to be having I'm gonna be launching my Valentine's Day sale. So it's going to be Valentine's Day. The code is going to be Valentine's Day 2023 to get 22% off all of my services. So definitely take advantage of it. If you need a reading, if you need a synastry reading, it's gonna end on Valentine's Day, but I just wanted to do a little something for Valentine's Day season, like, you know, the Aquarian love season. So yeah, definitely check that out on my website. The link will be down below. Now, with that being said, we're going to jump into what's going on for the new moon. So we have a whole entire Aquarius stellium. So we're going to start with the planetary positions, and then we're going to be moving into the aspects. We'll look at the tarot, we'll look at the oracle, all the jazz. So the sun, moon, Venus, and Saturn will all be in Aquarius. Okay, Aquarius stellium. Okay. We have Mercury in Capricorn. We have Mars in Gemini, we have Jupiter in Aries, Uranus in Taurus in retrograde, Neptune in Pisces, and Pluto in Capricorn, okay? So the energy is very air heavy. We do have quite a bit of things in air. It's nice that, you know, Mercury retrograde will be coming out of retrograde. It's like ending, thank goodness. And we are getting a little bit closer to Uranus retrograde also coming to a close, which, you know, leave us with a little bit of a breath of fresh air on that respect. We do have a whole entire air stellium in Aquarius going on right now, okay? Then we have the sun in conjunction with the moon. The sun will also be in conjunction with Pluto, okay? So ego-wise, there's definitely a lot of solidarity between our intuition, our emotional energy, and our ego. But there is also a lot of ego transformation that is also happening. The decisions that you make for this upcoming, okay, new moon, are going to be one that actually shape what some of the goals and intentions for the rest of the year are going to look like when it comes to your own individuality. Because when it comes to Aquarian moons, Aquarius is very focused on the individuality, on who you are, what you want to do, on feeling, you know, very comfortable, especially mentally, very clearly on the intentions that you have set for yourself. So it's a very important time to sort yourself out in that way. So there is this transformative energy running in the background, like what needs to change, what hasn't changed, what do we want to leave behind, how do we want to upgrade. You might be feeling like, you know, changing your style, changing your hair, changing the color, changing, you know, like wanting to do something a little bit different, starting a little bit of a revolution within yourself in many ways. When I was shuffling the cards and I went to cut it the first time, literally one side, the bottom of the deck was the Star card, and the other side, the bottom of the deck was a Tower. And I was like, I have such Aquarius energy right now. It's really, really like potent for change. So, you know, if you're feeling like, you know, shaking stuff off, doing something a little bit different, feeling a little bit reflective or detached from others during this time to kind of handle your shit or figure yourself out of how you want to proceed, that's perfectly fine. Take your time, do what you need to do. Take it easy, take it slow, don't rush, okay? Take it one step at a time, simple as that. Then we have the sun being in a trine with Mars, which is a really, really beautiful aspect for some very in alignment decision making, okay? When it comes to the sun being in a trine with Mars, I've said this before and I'll say it again. Mars, your ego, okay, the sun, your sun energy may have an idea of how it wants to execute something, but Mars in your Mars sign is how it actually gets it done. And sometimes when the sun and Mars are not relating well in someone's chart, it can create issues of feeling comfortable with your work after the fact, after it was done. But so when, you know, the sun is, when you see this trine with Mars, you see this like beautiful like alignment with both planets. Like, okay, this was an idea, this is how I want to execute it, here's how I execute it, and then feeling good with the execution. So it gives this harmony, working together with the planets, how they're aligning, how this like the same page is being followed, like this, the idea is being followed to the T, and it's getting done. So that can lead to a lot of feeling, first of all, high energy levels for this new moon, also feeling like, you know, you want to reach your goals, feeling very determined, feeling very in alignment, like, no, I want to cut my hair, I want to change the color, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna go to the salon tomorrow, like feeling very like once the decision is made, it's happening tomorrow. Okay. So it's a very decisive time. And again, do you expect anything less from an air season? No. So here we are. The moon will also be in a trine with Mars. Moon is also going to be in Aquarius. So emotionally, we're still feeling as well this intuitive alignment with the things that we're doing, the things that we're choosing to do, why we're choosing to do them, feeling very much grounded in those decisions of why we need to do what we need to do. So very powerful time to actually feel very comfortable in the decisions that you're making with yourself and your future, which is part of what Aquarius rules as well. The moon will also be in conjunction to Pluto, such as the sun is. So it gives you this very emotionally, it can feel slightly emotionally a little bit intense with the transformations that are happening. It can feel very like, kind of like a very weight off your shoulders, kind of very transformative. Like, this is a great time to do breathing exercises for this particular new moon. If you wanted to do breathing exercises and working with the air element, highly recommend. It can be very, very like transformative in its own way, in a very needed like way. If you also wanted to go, you know, I don't know, to the park or to the woods or to a hill and just scream and just release anything that needed to be released, this would also be a great time for you to release some of those emotions as well. It can really help to address any type of issues that, especially emotionally, if you've been like getting in your own way, if you've been very stubbornly holding on to something that's really like not it. This could be like that moon in conjunction with Pluto could be that thing that tips it over, where you're emotionally tipped over to change. And emotionally, like that shift happens because it needs to happen. So it can make things a little bit like slightly a little chaotic. It can make our actions a little bit, you know, slightly extreme as well. Emotionally, it can make us a little bit like volatile and then detached. So be very gentle with yourself, but also give space for your emotions, your mind to process what it needs to process as well. Mercury will be in a square with Jupiter. And Mercury will be in a trine with Uranus. The downloads during this new moon are going to be absolutely insane. Highly recommend meditation. When it comes to this new moon, it's really, when working with the air element, I would highly recommend doing some meditations, doing some scripting. You could do some affirmations as well. But working with the air element, you can even just talk to your spirits. Just call them in and then just have a conversation. Vent. Speak your truth, let it out, express yourself, say what you need to say. Okay. This could be a very, very transformative time where your words can release a lot of things that are like pent up, that are like needed to, like that chaos energy that's like lingering in the background of everything. It needs to be said. That energy could be very well released vocally, and it is an air season, air element, air moon, so it's a great time to kind of just work and go with the flow of the air element during this time. Mercury in a square with Jupiter can also very much have you realizing something that you needed to realize and accept ages ago, and then once you realized it, can feel like you're reacting, or your actions after the realization can be a very very I said what I said, I'm doing this, by period, I'm not talking to you anymore, period, I blocked you already. Like a very decisive energy. Be very gentle with yourself, and the messages and the download to come through. Be very gentle with yourself, okay? Especially as Mercury will be in a trine with Uranus. Really amazing for messages, downloads, great for higher self meditation, great for any meditation that you feel like you need to do. This would be like a really, really great time for you to also ask for something that you might have been knowing that you need to like head towards, but you haven't actively like asked for it yet, but it's been lingering from your spirits, or asking a question to your ancestors that you've been meaning to, like, okay, you know what, I've been wanting to work on this, or I know that part of my path is to work on this, but I haven't done it yet. Let me start now. This would be a great time to start having those conversations, getting those answers, divining those divine divinations, okay? And it's a great time to dive into those messages. Also a great time to learn a new divination modality if that's what you wanted to do. And Venus will be in conjunction with Saturn. Okay, this would be a really good time if you were, wanting to propose to someone, if you were thinking about commitment long term. Some people might be revisiting their commitments to a relationship. Some people may, feel like their grounding is not as well as it should be in said relationships. So be very gentle with yourself. There could be either some issues with grounding, or a need to get grounded, or a need to separate oneself because of lack of grounding from something. It can manifest in different ways, but just be very gentle with yourself when it comes to that Venus in conjunction to Saturn. Make sure your self-care, your self-love practice is on point, and that you're actively doing it during this time, during this 2.5 day period where this moon is very much in focus, because it can feel like a little bit of a tipping point, and a little bit of a, one day it was that, and now it's all the way over here, now it's this now. So be very gentle with yourself. Don't be too harsh on yourself, especially with any feelings or anything that you're feeling that's just a little bit, bold or heavy, or like just decisive, okay? Whatever you decide, and the flow of that you feel like it's the right flow, go with the flow. Go with your flow of your decisions. Feel comfortable in your decisions. Ground yourself in them. Meditate on them. Like focus on them. And don't beat yourself up because of them either. Now, when it comes to the cards, because we gotta look at the cards. Bottom of the deck, we have the Emperor, the Four of Pentacles, the Four of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, the King of Pentacles, and Death. Okay, so again, Pluto underlining a lot of things. When it comes to the bottom of the deck, there's a lot of, again, that Emperor energy. It's giving building up to Aries season energy, which I'm not surprised that it's something that, you know, it's coming out throughout the reading itself. But it's about your individuality, how you're feeling about your life, where you're going, how you are, what you want to do, what are you achieving, what you're not achieving, how you're going to achieve what you need to achieve, and how much energy you're going to put in. It really focuses in on looking at any distractions that you had and really like getting back into center with yourself. When it comes to the cards themselves, you have the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, so realizing that some work needs to be put into these goals, these dreams, these things that you know need to get done, but how are they getting done? Why are they getting done? What decisions are you making that are going to make it easier for them to come to pass? Okay, this is why we're getting the Five of Wands and the King of Cups. Some of you are cleaning house, some of you are like getting rid of distractions, some of you are like, you know, I said I was going to commit to this year, and I really need to stop like letting this get in my way. Like I really need to actually stick to it. Like I actually need to do what I said I was going to do. And that means I need to get rid of distractions. That means that I need to get rid of unnecessary drama and just chaotic people that are just not flowing with me properly, that are not in alignment with what I'm doing. Like I gotta go. I got things to do, people to see, places to be. Okay, then we have the Ace of Wands, okay, the Nine of Cups, and then the Knight of Wands. Okay, so that Wands energy, as we're building into Aries season, which is the beginning of the astrological year, you're going to see this energy of, you know, like feeling very focused, like direction wise, because this is like a faux beginning of the year with January. You see this like Ace of Wands, and there is a lot of restructuring. There is a lot of like feeling a little bit fuel in the fire towards what needs to get done, what we want to do, why we want to do it, why it needs to be done, like feeling like, you know, we need to see it through, that we need to see certain things shift, that we need to make changes, that we need to kind of refuel our passions, and feel passionate about what we're doing. Like I need to fight for it. I need to put in my emotions. I need to put in the time. I need to like, you know, stop fighting with people, and I need to fight for myself. I need to fight for what I want. Like there's a lot of passion running through a lot of these intentions, and it really comes down to wanting to achieve it, wanting to stay focused and wanting to achieve it, wanting to see it through, and really staying the course and playing the long game in it. So there's a lot of like, even when you look at the oracle cards, like y'all, first we got potential, the littlest key can open the heaviest door. Okay, and then we have move, a rolling stone gathers no moss. Like the energy is very like building momentum. It is giving chaos in many ways. It's like, okay, we see the potential, we see the wanting the shift, we see the changes, we want it. Okay, we got focus, friendship, and talisman. Okay, some of y'all are revisiting, some of y'all are reviewing, some of y'all are networking, which is very much in alignment with Aquarius energy. Some of y'all are also going to be using some of the tools that you have, whether that is networking or whether that is like spiritual tools and stuff like that, to shift the energy, to protect your energy, to, you know, keep you on track with your energy. Highly recommend this train right now, because it seems like it's the one to stay on point with. But there's a lot of like movement, there's a lot of shift, there's a lot of energy right now towards staying on course, what needs to be done, how it's going to be done, why it needs to be done. Like there's a lot of that right now. Then we have sense of humor from Archangel Michael. Your home is protected by angels, and a favorable outcome. And this goes hand in hand with that needing to, as you're like in this Emperor energy, you need to make sure that you love what you're doing. This is why the nines, both these nines, the Nine of Pentacles and the Nine of Cups, came up the way that it did, because both of these are aligned with that very Venusian pleasure energy, that satisfaction, that getting what you want energy. So there is this kind of like, you know what, I'm gonna laugh about this now, I'm gonna laugh about this drama now, but you know what, I know where I'm going, I know what I'm doing, I know what what course I need to stay on. I'm also going to protect my peace. I'm also going to protect myself from, you know, things that are getting in the way of my peace, of my growth, of my path. Like I need to stop playing and allowing people to stay around me that don't need to be around me. Like there is a lot of like staying on course. Like it really feels like staying on course and seeing the way through the intention itself, which is to get to a point where you are grounded. You don't have to worry about certain things that you don't want to worry about, and you're on track with yourself and your goals. And you can see your potential, and you know you're gonna get there, but you're making movements, you're making shifts, and that's where your focus is. That's where your focus is. So very, 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 very clear, direct, bold energy for this new moon in Aquarius, which is good because I feel like it's going to keep people in alignment, as it should. It's going to be able to, you know, ground people the way that they need to be in order for them to do what they need to do. Okay. So yeah, with that said, that was all the messages that I got for y'all. That was all the messages. I hope that you guys got all the messages that you needed to get from this. I love you guys so much. Thank you guys for being here. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to check out the Patreon. Don't forget to check out the workshop. All the things. I will see y'all in the next video. Have a very blessed day.